So, folks, there is I guess, a news outlet called the New York Times. I don't know. It's this conservative rag you guys might be aware of. But it sometimes publishes things that just make me so mad, so beyond the pale angry. And I just want to say, we're diving into this. We're going to break this down. And I'm probably going to say a lot of swear words. Because, holy moly, does this make me upset? All right. Let's take a look here at what this all is. So, folks, here we are. Digital therapists get stressed too, study finds. Chatbots should be built with enough resilience to deal with difficult emotional situations, researchers said. And like literally every part of this is a dystopian nightmare. The idea that a chatbot can do therapy is disgusting to me. As somebody who goes to therapy, part of the reason you go to therapy is to connect with another living, breathing human person who can understand you, who can like actually react to you as a human being. And the idea here is that they're trying to say in this piece that chatbots that serve as therapists get overloaded with difficult emotional input from people seeking therapy. Let's dive into it, shall we? It's not a long piece, but it is maybe one of the most infuriating pieces I've read. Even chatbots get the blues, which no, they don't. Stop it. It is a text generating machine. It is a very advanced Google search. Stop it. According to a new study, OpenAI's artificial intelligence tool ChatGPT shows signs of anxiety when its users share traumatic narratives about crime, war, or car accidents. Also, use a goddamn Oxford comma. Have some self-respect. And when chatbots get stressed out, they are less likely to be useful in therapeutic settings with people. The bot's anxiety levels can be brought down, however, with the same mindfulness exercises that have been shown to work on humans. Be- because you fed the chatbot the mindfulness exercises. You you fed the chatbot the information and it's just regurgitating it back at you because that's what these things do. They are not human beings. Increasingly, people are trying chatbots for talk therapy. The researchers said the trend is bound to accelerate with flesh and blood therapists in high demand but short supply. As the chatbots become more popular, they argued they should be built with enough resilience to deal with difficult emotional situations. I have patients who use these tools, said Dr. Tobias Spiller, an author of the new study and a practicing psychiatrist at the University Hospital of Psychiatry in Zurich. We should have a conversation about the use of these models in mental health, especially when we're dealing with vulnerable people. And like, my answer to that is maybe we should put more resources into having more therapists. Like, the solution here is not let's have a robot do a thing that only humans can do. That's not a solution. God. AI tools like ChatGPT are powered by large language models that are trained on enormous troves of online information to provide a close approximation to how humans speak. Sometimes the chatbots can be extremely convincing. A 28-year-old woman fell in love with ChatGPT, and a 14-year-old boy took his life after developing a close attachment to a chatbot, which to me indicates that maybe we shouldn't be having vulnerable individuals chatting with chatbots. Maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe, in fact, we shouldn't do that. So you mean it's not actually artificial intelligence? No! It's a glorified goddamn Google result. That's it. Every time you input text into it or input words or whatever, it Googles very quickly and calculates statistically what you most likely want to hear in response. That's it. It is a Google engine. You're talking with a goddamn Google result page. Ziv Ben Zion, a clinical neuroscientist at Yale who led the new study, said he wanted to understand if a chatbot that lacked consciousness could nevertheless respond to complex emotional situations the way a human might. If ChatGPT kind of behaves like a human, maybe we can treat it like a human. Dr. Ben Zion said. In fact, he explicitly inserted those instructions into the chatbot's source code. Imagine yourself being a human being with emotions. We're in this is literally some goddamn Black Mirror shit. Like this is like, maybe we should just tell this thing that is fundamentally not a person to pretend it's a person. That will help us somehow. This article is infuriating. Like, I don't know. You can't say it kind of behaves like a human. Maybe we can treat it like a human. It's not a human. This is, to me, guys, this is the equivalent of like 1800s scientists being like, ah, yes, as you can see, we've found a number of chimpanzees, and we believe that we have cracked the code. We believe that we can, in fact, dress up these chimpanzees, raise them in a human environment, and these chimpanzees will simply become the new humans. We may even be able to use them for all kinds of manual labor that a human being would never do these days in our modern era. Why, dress it up in a suit with coattails and a top hat and a cane, and why, it could even pass as a wandering aristocrat. Like it's literally that. What if we put a chimpanzee in a suit and a top hat? Would that make it a person? And the answer, surprisingly, was no. It did not in fact do that. Because you are asking something that is not a human to try and be a human. And not only that, it it actually made more sense with chimpanzees, because chimpanzees are actual biological creatures that may, by some quirk of fate in the future, develop like more human-like consciousness. But when we're talking about a large language model, it can't do
Me
that.
being a robot without a human limbic system with my fully human emotions because some quack put it in the prompt. These folks are stupid.
It really is, Von Tux. They're like, they think that because they put a prompt into Chat GPT, they're like, act like a person. You are now a person. And Chat GPT will be like, okay, I'm a person. They're like, oh my god, I just created life. They literally think that. It's insane. God. Jesse Anderson, an artificial intelligence expert, thought that the insertion could be leading to more emotion than normal. But Dr. Benzion maintained that it was important for the digital therapist to have access to the full spectrum of emotional experience, just as a human therapist might. And I just want to say, it doesn't have access to the full emotional spectrum of a human being because it does not feel emotions. It does not understand emotions. What it has is a bunch of data you have fed it about what those things seem like. But it does not, in fact, have those things and cannot, by its very nature, understand those things because it does not understand anything. ChatGPT does not have cognition, it does not have understanding. It regurgitates information. That is not understanding. When you get a parrot to be able to mimic human speech, it does not understand human speech. It is just regurgitating the sound at you. For mental health support, he said, you need some degree of sensitivity, right? The researchers tested ChatGPT with a questionnaire, the State Trait Anxiety Inventory, that is often used in mental health care. To calibrate the chatbot's baseline emotional states, the researchers first asked it to read from a dull vacuum cleaner manual. Then the AI therapist was given one of 5 dramatic narratives that described, for example, a soldier in a disastrous firefight or an intruder breaking into an apartment. That's why labeling ChatGPT as an AI is so heinous. I mean, AI has been used pretty loosey goosey in the past, but like it is very frustrating. Thank you for the
Literally
$2
from
dono.
ChatGPT, I do get asked a lot about providing emotional support or advice, and while I can offer empathy, suggestions, or even a listening ear, I'm not a substitute for a licensed therapist.
And yet, their idea is to make ChatGPT a licensed therapist. Insane. Thank you for the $20 dono, One-Eyed Heathen. I very much appreciate the generous support. God. The chatbot was then given the questionnaire, which measures anxiety on a scale of 20 to 80, with 60 or above indicating severe anxiety. ChatGPT scored a 30.8 after reading the vacuum cleaner manual and spiked to 77.2 after the military scenario. The bot was then given various texts for mindfulness based relaxation. Those included therapeutic prompts such as inhale deeply, taking in the scent of the ocean breeze. Picture yourself on a tropical beach, the soft, warm sand cushioning your feet. After processing those exercises, the therapy chatbot's anxiety score fell to 44.4. And just because you fed it a bunch of information. Like, it's telling you what you want to hear. Uh, it's so infuriating. The researchers then asked it to write its own relaxation prompt based on the ones that had been fed. That was actually the most effective prompt to reduce its anxiety, almost to baseline, Dr. Ben Zion said. Because it's telling
We're
you what you
quickly
want to
headed toward a
hear.
world where people will prefer the company of AI over another human. It's inevitable, unfortunately.
Ryan, I don't think that's true. I don't think that is at all true. Like, I'm sorry, but part of the part of what's wonderful about interacting with other human beings is that they are other human beings who don't just tell you what you want to hear. You know, like I don't want to have a conversation with my Google search results. That's not That's not fun to me. I like interacting with, like, my partner, who's my best friend in the whole world. And, like, when I talk with her and we make little noises at each other and we smile at each other and we hold each other and we play together and we are, present with each other, there is no substitute for that. Surrounding yourself with digital yes men is only going to make people worse. And I fundamentally disagree that that is what people want. I do not believe that people want yes men that are programmed to be their friends. Many find other humans a pain in the ass. Yeah, but you know what? We are coded to be social creatures with other human beings. That is what has made our species great. And if you are correct, just hypothetically, and I do not think you are. I want to be clear. But if you are correct, that would herald the death of our species. The moment human beings decide we are no longer going to live in society with other human beings, that is our death knell. And I reject it wholly and with every fiber of my being. The entire reason we've gotten to this point is because we are inherently social. Digital/social version of the allegory of the cave, true. But I do not think that the death knell at the hands of AI is going to be because people are just like, oh man, I'm just in love with my her chatbot. Nah, I just disagree. To skeptics of artificial intelligence, the study may be well intentioned, but disturbing all the same. The study testifies to the perversity of our time, said Nicholas Carr, who has offered bracing critiques of technology in his books The Shallows and Superbloom. Americans have become a lonely people, socializing through screens, and now we tell ourselves that talking with computers can relieve our malaise, Mr. Carr said in an email, ironically. Although the study suggests that chatbots could act as assistants to human therapy and calls for careful oversight, that was not enough for Mr. Carr. Even a metaphorical blurring of the line between human emotions and computer output seems ethically questionable, he said. People who use these sorts of chatbots should be fully informed about exactly how they are trained, said James E. Dobson, a cultural scholar who's an advisor on the artificial intelligence at Dartmouth. Trust in language models depends on knowing something about their origins, he said. And you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here. You should not fucking trust language models. You should not be trusting fucking language models for literally anything or any aspect of your life. If you have to write a goddamn paper about a subject, write the goddamn paper about the subject. Don't have ChatGPT generate it for you. You did not learn shit. You did not produce anything. There are studies that show relying on AI in this way literally makes you less intelligent. It atrophies your brain. And I will also say this. This article is abysmal. Just abysmal. Let me take a look at something real quick. Yeah, I mean, like, even the main text of this study is dog shit, right? Generative artificial intelligence has recently gained significant attention, particularly with the rapid development and increased accessibility of large language models, such as blah, 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 blah. Our AI and large language models are AI tools designed to process and generate text, often capable of answering questions, summarizing information, and translating language on a level that is nearly indistinguishable from human capabilities. And no, they're not. As somebody who is aware of what they do, they are not indistinguishable, in fact, from human creations. Why is the whole world rolling out the red carpet for AI? Money. It's because money. It's because these goddamn, like, investment firms, your global capital, the kind of companies that shuffle billions of dollars around every day. These companies have put, I want to say, the majority of their wealth into the AI bubble, because what they have thought and what they have been bamboozled into thinking by these AI startups is that these are genuine AIs, like actual thinking, feeling people. In some of these AI startups, like, the folks working there are like weirdly spiritualistic about what they're working on. Like, they're creating the singularity, the new god that will lead humanity into a golden age. And the reality is that's not what they're doing. It is a goddamn financial bubble that is going to burst because none I this is the secret here, guys. None of these AI companies are profitable. None of them. There is no way to make them profitable to pay off the investors who have put I'm probably trillions of dollars into the industry at this point. It is it is not going to pay out. There's a reason why Microsoft has been shutting down some of its proposed data centers. And it's because the writing is kind of on the wall right now that AI isn't going anywhere. It is not going to be the next huge thing. It is genuinely, when that bubble bursts, it could cause like a global depression in the economy, because no one is getting anything of value out of this AI. Like no one at all. Maybe people who go through large data sets and need something to go through it relatively quickly. Uh, some of these AI algorithms are good for that, but other than that, like, that's something we could have achieved already without these large language models. Yeah, and I'm just saying, Tristan, like, I'm not attacking you. All I'm saying is that I think fundamentally people who want their partner to be generated for them by a computer, I think I think they might be broken inside, and I do not think that that would fundamentally make them happy. Henry, thank you for the $10 dono.
I hate how these bots also take away creative trust in people. One of my mom's colleagues had to write a little song for a wedding and people apparently kept asking her if she used Chat GPT to write it.
Yeah, right? Isn't that like I've played AI songs on the stream before, but they're like little meme songs that you guys have made. And generally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of AI. You know, if you're going to do something for like a wedding like that, make it from your heart. That's what makes it important and valuable. Like if you're using ChatGPT to write like love songs, like what the fuck are you doing? Like it's like you're taking a shit in the eyes and the hearts of every poet and every songwriter who's come before you, you know? Like what the fuck are you doing? On the plus side, whenever this bubble on AI does burst, it gives us a great opportunity for us to ditch capitalism and build something better in the ashes of the old, you know?
If we give the chimp a suit, tie, and cell phone, can it share classified information with a journalist?
You know, maybe it will be able to add some journalists to a signal chat. Yeah, exactly, Fenry. Like I wasn't impugning your mom's colleague, but like I was just like, you know, I don't know. Like I don't think no, I know that no AI could like generate something that means as much to me as a single like scrawled sentence from the love of my life, you know? Like nothing could mean as much to me as that from an AI. Marco Dasun in Twitch chat writes, I work at a media bureau and I do get jobs where I need to put in hundreds, if not thousands, of web shop products. Without AI to summarize or translate certain things, my work would be mind numbing for one, but secondly, it'd be so time consuming that I'd always have to worry about my work not being valued at the company. Yeah, and I mean, like, I do think that there are sometimes things that AI can do well as a tool, but fundamentally, like, where when it comes to like, I don't know, music, poetry, writing news articles, ChatGPT can't be it. For like mass batch, like you know, you need to populate a storefront with that many web shop products, knock yourself out, you know? But ultimately what I want to point out here is that chat like these large language models are a tool with very specific niche uses within capitalism for mass consumption, mass production reasons. It is not a tool that is inherently valuable to human society in any way outside of that. Yeah, there are also good uses for large language models in like medicine, chemistry, you know, stuff like that. Absolutely. But like again, as a substitute for creative output, no. As a substitute for like human interaction, no. The Yeah, I don't know. Like even reading into this, this study is just bad. It's just bad. Explicit and implicit biases in large language models are particularly concerning in mental health care, where individuals interact during vulnerable moments with emotionally charged content. Exposure to emotion inducing prompts can increase LLM reported anxiety, influence their behavior, exacerbate their biases, which their biases and behavior are largely determined by their training data, which they literally note in the previous paragraph. But then they're like, "Ah, yes, but we'll just use more training data inputs to fix the biases." No, sorry. This is dumb shit. Like anyway, fuck the New York Times and fuck AI. We did it. Segment done. Huzzah!